Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and hope you guys are doing well today. And we are ready for some controversy. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the worst specs in Cata, in my opinion. If I say your spec, please do not be offended. It isn't a personal dig, it's just my thoughts on this. So I want to talk about my parameters for this a little bit. I'm not talking strictly about performance, although of course that will have some input. I'm talking about playstyle, viability compared to other specs, my own personal opinions, of course, performance, and just, yeah, different stages of the expansion, even as well. So, firstly, and in no particular order, Prot Warrior. This is probably not a surprise if you've watched my tank video, but in terms of playstyle, Prot Warrior is so heavily dependent on shield block and rotating cooldowns around that cooldown. It wouldn't be bad if during this time they were incredibly tanky, but they have almost no magic resistance at all. And even with cooldowns procced, others do the same roles better. I just don't think Prot is particularly horrible or unplayable, but of all of the tanks currently, this is the worst by far. Secondly, then, Holy Priest. Yeah, I said Holy Priest. Now, when we did the healing video, I talked about how they were amazingly good at AoE healing. But you know what? Of all of the healers, this is still the worst. The other part is due to Chakra's Holy Priest have to actively choose between good tank healing and amazing AoE healing. That means said, the choice is 99% of the time taken away because you never want to be tank healing. You again are also overshadowed by Disc so heavily that Holy will see very little representation or play, in my opinion. Third, I'm going to get some hate for this one. Ret Paladin. My first attempt at playing Ret Paladin lasted all of about 3 minutes before I quit the dungeon and respect. I'm actually not joking either. It felt horrible, and I've tried to boil it down to what it is. Ret itself actually pumps. It's very useful in raids, and it's not a viability thing. It's almost entirely gameplay. Crusader Strike and Divine Storm being both generators you'd think is great. But Divine Storm not being a generator until you hit 4 mobs is horrible. Now, the other part of this is, even if you do get them 4 mobs and you start generating Holy Power, your only spenders are Templar's Verdict and Inquisition, which feel great as spenders in single target, but in AoE situation, it just feels horrible not having a either spammable ability or an AoE spender. This is the first spec in Cata I've truly just walked away from early on. Now, again, my opinion. Fourth is Marksmanship Hunter. Once again, not a spec that plays particularly bad in single target. I'm not personally a fan of the AoE rotation, using steady shot to maintain focus, to multi-shot, maintain a buff as well. Yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't particularly like it. But the main reason this makes the list is that its alternative specs are just so much better. Survival being an absolute pumper spec with decent utility, and probably a spec you're going to see in almost every raid comp, and Beast Mastery bring in almost the same DPS, actually equal to Marksman in most situations, while also having almost every single buff in the game or access to it through exotic pets and other pets in general. There's almost no reason to ever bring a Marksman Hunter unless you need something that can hit hard once. And I can think of only one fight where that counts, and that's Shanox with Rage Face, of which we did this fight the other day. We did it with an Elishami, was a joke. Now, fifth is Fury Warrior. Fury's here for a few reasons. Firstly, performance. It's a spec that scales so far in tier 13 and whatever that it's so bad early on. For most of tier 11 and all of tier 11 and most of tier 12, you will feel absolutely garbage. Then you'll get to like near Firelands Best, tier 12 Best, and start doing some numbers, but still not be at the top. In Dragon Soul, then, with full Bish, you'll start seeing Titan Script Fury Warriors do reasonable damage, almost enough to beat Arms, who spends the entire expansion performing well and scaling well with gear. Fury also have 2 talent choices, Single-Minded Fury or Titan's Grip. Unfortunately, however, there's almost never a situation to play Single-Minded Fury, as same eye-level weapons, Titan's Grip is just better. So, that's my list. Again, my opinion. What's your thoughts? I am going to do a reversal to this at some point where I talk about the 5 best specs in my opinion, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch you later.